Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap video for the week of Monday, the 17th of March, 2014, ending Friday, the 21st. Hope you had a great trading week. Charts, as usual, brought to you by the terrific eSignal 11 platform. We had a good week of trading. Really nice weekday on Thursday across the board with stocks and futures. We had some great stock winners early in the week. A couple of our top picks on the long side, Monday and Tuesday, worked really well. And then Thursday was just 8 out of 9 big winners in the stock side, and a futures call that ran for 80 ticks to the final target on the ES. Just a terrific week overall, and not much you can complain about there. So let's take a look at what we're going to see this week and try to develop a plan, analyze some of the charts, and we'll go from there. Here's a look at, first I wanted to start with volume. This is the NASDAQ volume. I point out for this week, cleared 2 billion shares almost every day, except for Monday it was a little light. Tuesday almost 2.4, Wednesday 2 billion, almost 2.3 on Thursday, and Friday 2.1. So great volume, and look at that 10-day moving average, almost at a high, really for the last year and a half, basically touching the highs there like it wants to break out of its own cup formation. So that's a real interesting situation on the volume, which is just that it's been really nice. I'm going to put the volume back into this chart because I just accidentally deleted it. Hang on, there we go. All right, so let's take a look now at some of the key indices that we follow, and I'll remove that moving average because we don't typically follow that. There we go. So here's a look at the S&P daily chart. Notice the 9-bar setup to the upside that recycled a count that was in place, a 13 count that was in place. But we did roll over from that point, even though we didn't get the 13 sell signal, and we're now approaching the static trend line of that move, which is the red line, often support if we get there. So we're almost down to there. Now, we obviously have two big things going on in the world right now. One is the situation in the Ukraine and the boosting of troops along the border by Russia, and the other is this plane that disappeared over a week ago now. Most likely a crash, but possibly terrorist related, and possibly even the remote possibility at this point that the plane landed somewhere, was taken somewhere. Hard to say what's going on, but obviously if that turns out to be a bigger deal than what it looks like on the surface, there could be an impact there to the markets. Certainly the Ukraine situation not helpful to the markets. Here's the NASDAQ, the 100, the NDX rolled over with the market, but overall we've been in a pretty narrow range here for the last couple weeks since the middle of February. Here's a look at the stocks, also roll over, trying to fill a gap from a couple weeks back, and the biotech index, Asgo Banks and biotech still with the market. This thing's been going down since sooner. This topped out in late February. Let's look at some of our key favorite trading stocks. Here's Apple, dropped off sharply Thursday and Friday. Here's a take a look at Google. Now remember, Thursday was a big down day for the markets. It doesn't look super big here. Like Google, for example, had a higher low on Thursday than Wednesday, but the rest of the market sold off. You can watch that red static trend line on Google. Here's a look at Amazon, actually up on Thursday and Friday. Good for it. Tesla, this has got a breakdown formation right under the lows of this base to go fill that gap and maybe head back to that static trend line. Be looking for the short side of Tesla this week for sure. Another one, Twitter, starting to roll over here. We had a call in that this week that worked, and also Facebook rolling over. Everything rolling over, doing what the market's doing, just from different starting points. All right, let's look at the action during the week. This is the S&P E-mini futures on the 10-minute chart. So you've got Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, and last week's close. So Monday, little gap down, came close to filling, sold off, flat, and then made it up and basically closed dead even for the session at the gap fill. Tuesday, gapped up a little, sold off, filled the gap, bounced, and then rolled to the downside a little bit. We had good days both those days. Wednesday, a little gap down, came back up and filled. Notice all these gaps are suddenly filling. We've had weeks before, like during earnings season, where the gaps don't fill. Here they fill. That's what they're supposed to do, right? Thursday was the big day for us. Gapped up, sold off, and just kept going. This was our big 80-tick winner on the ES, and a lot of big shorts captured like 30 points on the price line, for example, from Rich's call. Friday, basically a flat opening and a flat session. Range for the whole week, about 40 points on the ES. Here's a look at the NQs, and I'm just pulling up. These are just right here is the March contract, which is expiring, so that I can show you one thing, but just as one continuous chain. But we are now trading the June contract, and I'll flip to that in a second. Notice how we got a 13 buy signal on the NQs on Thursday at the low, and then right here, that's the risk line from that. We bounced off of that. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a little different here than what we saw on the S&P side. And if I switch it to the June contract, notice the volume here on Friday, right? So all the traders have moved their trading, just a little bit of it on Thursday, and then everybody goes all in on Friday, even though the contract doesn't expire till next Friday, next week. Everybody wants to get out and get moving in the new contract. So that's what we saw intra-week, and a lot of stocks, like I said, sold off Thursday, obviously, but didn't do a ton else. The big boys did not do a ton else during the week. Here's a look at Google, for example, in 10-minute bars. Look how flat it was on Monday. Didn't get anywhere net Tuesday, Wednesday. Finally sold off a bit Thursday and Friday. Kind of typical of what you saw for the week. All right, so what do we have coming to look forward to this coming week? Well, pretty straightforward, actually. We're going to start with the data from Monday, the 17th. Okay, we've got Empire Manufacturing, net long-term tick flows, capacity utilization, industrial production, and a housing market index number, none of which is a big deal and adds up to anything that's going to move the market most likely. However, we will be coming into Monday as the day that the U.S. has set out and given Vladimir Putin a deadline to withdraw back off a bit. We also have the vote over the weekend, and we've got troops on the border. So more than likely, Monday is going to be a reaction to whatever's going on over there, and potentially with this missing airplane if it turns out to be something bigger. Then on Tuesday, housing starts, building permits, CPI, mortgage, and we started a 2-day Fed meeting, on Tuesday. That's going to be the thing that's going to slow us up this week. Wednesday, MBA mortgage index, current account balance, crude oil inventories. There's the rate announcement at 2 p.m. Eastern time with the meeting 30 minutes later. That is on Wednesday, so that's going to be the factor for a couple of days as everybody waiting for the Fed, unless, and again, maybe Tuesday morning some action with the CPI, Ukraine and everything else driving any other activity and things otherwise slowing down. Remember, this Friday, even though we sold off on Thursday, Friday was dead flat. Why? Because they were rolling the futures contract, and traders just don't do a lot, even when there's a lot going on in the market. The technicals trump the global situation in that case because it's such a big event rolling the contracts. But now that that's done, I would say that nothing here is necessarily bigger than what's going on in the world. Thursday, initial and continuing claims, existing home sales, Philly Fed leading indicators, natty gas. No data on Friday. Friday is triple expiration. So that means Friday is going to be a lot of volume, but very flat most likely. And Wednesday is the most likely day for options unraveling. We'll be looking for it after the first hour's play. That's when that starts on Wednesday. If we don't see it clearly on Wednesday with the Fed announcement, maybe we get it Thursday instead. So we'll be looking for that because that's usually the better range trading day of the week and where we can make a lot of money. So that's what we're looking at this week. That's where we're going to be focused. All the data points and obviously keeping track of what's going on in the world. It's amazing some of these markets aren't moving a little bit more even given the situation. And if you read the reports of billions and billions of dollars being moved, reclaimed back into Russia, you would think the currencies would be moving a little bit more than they are. So that's kind of interesting to see that they're not. We will be in the lab calling the trades, hoping to make you some money. Have a great trading week and good weekend ahead of the sessions. Talk to you soon.